Right, my friends, how you all doing? Welcome back to the Irons United channel, and it's your boy Dan, aka Fandango, coming at you with another opposition report. We've got a massive game this weekend against Arsenal. Both teams in desperate need of points. Before we get to the opposition report though, my friends, have you seen this week's preview that went out on the channel yesterday? We invited the Gooner Talk onto the channel. Great guests, and they gave us their side on Arsenal, and we gave our side on West Ham and debated how the game was going to go. If you haven't seen it yet, my friends, above, go check it out. It's well worth a watch, and I just would like to thank the guests for coming on the show. Top blokes. But today we move on to my opposition report, the show that I release the day before each match day, where I talk about the opposition and try and fill you guys in a little bit. Now, as far as West Ham and Arsenal are concerned, Arsenal, as far as Premier League is concerned, definitely have the upper hand as far as the record goes. West Ham have only ever won 7 games in the Premier League against Arsenal. They far outweigh that with 28 wins out of a possible 44. This fixture last season finished 4-1 to Arsenal. They absolutely battered us, and let's be honest, if the defending on Saturday is anything to go by, it could well happen again in this week's games. Now, as far as Arsenal are concerned, they're going through a bit of a transitional period. Brand new manager after 22 years of Arsene Wenger, but Unai Emery seems to be trying to stamp his philosophy on the team. He's trying to get them to read into his tactics and the way he wants the ball played. I think, a key area for them at the moment is they're trying to play out from the back, and to some extent it's working, but that's the sort of thing that's going to take a little while. A bit like West Ham's high defensive line. It's not just going to happen overnight. Football doesn't work that way. I thought that against Chelsea last week, Arsenal looked pretty good. The defence was shocking, but going forward, they created plenty of chances, which is a big worry for West Ham, especially with the way our defence seems to be doing the business at the moment. But we can't just keep blaming the defence. The midfield looks pretty weak as well, and have just been pretty poor as far as keeping the ball out of the back of the net is concerned. But we're here to talk about Arsenal, not West Ham. Arsenal, like I say, transitional period. So maybe we've got that in our court, something we could take advantage of, but slowly, baby steps, they have started to improve, and I have still been impressed with them, even though they haven't won a game yet this season. I think it's going to take Unai Emery at least 2 or 3 transfer windows before he can really stamp his authority and make this Arsenal team play the way he wants to. He's inherited a team of Arsene Wenger's where old habits die young. They're still, reading in, and it's almost ingrained in them the way that Arsene Wenger run the football club and played football. I think Bellerin is probably a weak link as far as Arsenal are concerned. He's very good at getting forward, but he's terrible going the other way. We could say that about some of the West Ham defenders, couldn't we? As far as key players are concerned, there's plenty of them. There's plenty of attacking threat in Arsenal. All very good with the football at feet, pass the ball well. I think Aubameyang obviously come very close to scoring his first goal of the season last weekend. Mkhitaryan looked really good. Great link-up play with the front line. I thought Iwobi played very well last week. And Lacazette, when he's come off the bench, he's always had a positive impact on that team. I think Torreira will probably start, a summer transfer buy for them. A snappy midfielder, someone who's going to get his foot in and win the ball. And Guendouzi has been excellent for him, a 19-year-old midfielder they bought from a second division French team. No one expected him to start a game, but he started the opening 2 games against Manchester City and Chelsea and was arguably one of Arsenal's best players. I wouldn't be surprised if Granit Xhaka gets dropped this week, because from that granite a diamond has not been made, just a lump of coal. He is just not good enough for that football team, and just isn't performing, and a lot of Arsenal fans have been saying the same. Like I say about Arsenal, the attacking threat is there. We all know about the way they can pass the football. It's beautiful to watch at times. I think that they've got the players and they've got the ability. It's just whether or not Unai Emery can get them playing that way. Now, where the West Ham try to expose Arsenal, where are the weaknesses? Well, I've already mentioned one, and of course the defence has to be one. I don't think that Petr Cech, should he play this weekend, is very good with the ball at feet, and his distribution to the players, especially that defensive line in front of him, is very good. At the end of the day, they're trying to pass out from the back, so you usually go to the fullbacks or your centre-backs first, and I think if we can apply some pressure, really get the forwards applying pressure on Petr Cech and the defensive line, we can force mistakes and maybe push the the issue there. I think the counter-attack is obviously another one. I think Arsenal are obviously going to be creating a lot of chances. We're probably going to be pegged back in our own half a fair amount. We don't have the best record at the Emirates, and if we can win the ball back and counter-attack quickly with the pace that we have, there's nothing to suggest we can't do that. For me, that's what West Ham should be doing. I think the defensive line needs to go at least 5 yards deeper because the high line isn't working for us. I think that Masuaku needs to be dropped. Mark Noble needs to be dropped. Neither of them have performed that well. I wouldn't even mind one of Balbuena or Oggy being dropped either. I think we have to just stick with Arnautovic up front. Chicharito was pretty, he just wasn't in the game for me against Bournemouth. And the biggest problem with Chicharito is if we are going to apply the high press, I think we should against Arsenal, because I think we would have, great results with it. Chicharito isn't a natural as it, and as proved on many occasions, he doesn't really know how to perform that role, whereas someone like Arnautovic definitely does. It's a scary Arsenal team when you look at them on paper. Plenty of talent throughout, good passes of the football, can build from the back very quickly, and it's only a matter of time before Unai Emery gets his first win, especially as they've gradually got better from week to week. I think West Ham just need to take advantage of that leaky defence, but Arsenal will be taking advantage of West Ham's leaky defence too. Now, what do I think as far as a result is concerned in this game? Now, on my Premier League prediction, I have gone with a 3-1 win to Arsenal. I'm going to stick with that. I do not see West Ham winning this game, especially with how improved Arsenal were against Chelsea. West Ham seem to have gone backwards. A good 45 minutes last week, but not good enough to beat this Arsenal team. A lot of the guys at Irons United are going with 2-2s and 1-1s. Not many people have got West Ham down as winning. Comment section below though, my friends. What do you think? How do you think we're going to fare against Arsenal? Should I have added any more as far as they're concerned? And do get in touch. But that is it, my friends, for another opposition report. A nice, quick and easy video. And that's it. Until next week, I've been Dan, you've been Legends, and I'll see you all later. Come on, you Irons.